Witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie. I hope you're all doing absolutely amazing today. I'm Mysticle and I'll be bringing you the latest in AR and VR news. As usual, you have chapters down below to skip to any specific part of this video that you're most interested in, and with that being said, let's get right into it. So, for our very first piece of news today, we're going to talk about Navigator once again, but don't worry, this one is going to be super quick. It's just something a ton of you guys mentioned in the comments section, that if you have the brand new Clear Navigator, it actually dims your environment in order to make it easier to see text and other items that maybe are a little bit lighter. So instead of having the issue that glassy panels have, where if the background is lighter and the text is lighter, you can't really see it, this new Navigator dims that environment, whether it's your environment or the virtual environment, and therefore it's just a lot easier to actually read things. And also a lot of you guys were saying you much more prefer this version to the one with the purple background. And another little Navigator function that a ton of you guys were talking about and were saying that not enough people are mentioning it is the Move With You option. A while ago, Navigator got the option for windows to move along with you, meaning that if you walk around, the window will follow you and not stay in space. This is something a ton of people have wanted, so here I am mentioning it, hopefully keeping you guys happy. Now, what's weird with the Move With You feature is, as Luna has mentioned here on Twitter, not all apps apparently support it. For example, the Xbox app apparently doesn't support this feature. So that's just an interesting little kink of Navigator right there. Fantastical avatars are coming to Horizon OS. Well, quite a few of them are already there. It's just that list keeps expanding. I don't know if it's just me, but this seriously reminds me of Fortnite avatars, and Luna has posted a fish avatar and a dog avatar. So in case that's something you guys are waiting on, hopefully soon that list will be getting a larger and larger and allowing us to customize our Horizon OS avatars just a little bit more, since that is the next complaint people were having after, Meta made them a bit more detailed. Now onto some super exciting leaks. Meta Celeste HUD glasses now have a name, Celeste, and the design and EMG wristband gestures have leaked. The Verge, The Information, The Financial Times, and Bloomberg's Mark Gurman have all previously reported that Meta intends to release smart glasses with a heads-up display in one eye later this year. Hopefully we get to choose which eye, because if we don't, then people like myself won't actually be able to use them, which is very sad. That seems to be the case with most HUD glasses. In April, Mark Gurman reported specific features and details of Hypernova and the inclusion of Meta's long-in-development EMG wristband in the box for finger control gestures. Something really interesting about this, actually, I bought this from one of you guys. So this is the Myo armband, and this is the company that Meta acquired a while ago, and this is what they're basing it off of. The whole point of this is you're going to wear it here, I believe, the new one, and it's going to read the EMG electrical signals from your brain. Sounds super crazy, but you'll be able to do gestures like this. This one can already do that, it's just not super accurate. A little piece of history right here. Now, Simulia has discovered early firmware for Hypernova on a public Meta server, and Meta Reality Labs enthusiast Luna and their associates have dug through it to discover visual assets within. Arguably, the most notable finding is a cropped render depicting the inner right area of the glasses. The image reveals that Meta Celeste is engraved into the inside of the stem, strongly suggesting that Meta Celeste is the product name for the upcoming device. Two other renders that Luna has discovered show the general design of the glasses and neural wristband, though these renders have a much lower resolution. Luna also discovered videos that depict the finger gestures it senses. The design exactly matches the wristband Meta publicly demoed in the Orion AR glasses prototype. On the discovered clip, seemingly from a tutorial, it depicts 3 gestures. It's going to be very interesting to actually see this. I do wonder whether they're going to have an activation gesture so that you don't accidentally do some gestures. The Maya armband had that, and I actually found it really annoying. It wasn't always super accurate, and if you say did running or anything like that, it could accidentally activate. A lot more info is in this article. I'm going to leave a link down below, but TLDR is apparently we're getting closer and closer to the release of something called Meta Celeste. And now, just to mention something to you guys super quick, in case you're looking for really cheap VR games, the Upload VR Humble Bundle VR game sale is still currently going. As a matter of fact, it's going to be going for another 14 days, so you guys have quite some time to pick these up for yourself. But how this goes is you can get a total of 9 games if you pay at least $15.63. That's in euro, by the way, so it's going to be different for your currency. But point being, tracking. It's a super low price, and you get a total of 9 pretty high value virtual reality titles. So I'm going to leave a link down below as usual in case you guys want to support charity, because yes, this does also support charity, and using the link down below, it's also going to support the channel a little bit. You pay nothing extra, but we get a little bit in return. And talking about games, just a really quick mention of Stop Killing Games. A lot of you guys have wanted me to talk about this. In case you don't yet know what Stop Killing Games is, it's an initiative brought forward by a YouTuber called Ross Scott, Accursed Farms, in response to the growing problem of digital video games becoming unplayable when publishers shut down their online servers and discontinue support. So this has been an ongoing problem that has actually touched us in the VR community quite a bit as well. I'm sure you guys know the story of Echo VR, where Meta killed Echo VR and then just destroyed the servers. There has been ongoing community support trying to get the servers back up and running, and if I remember correctly, they did actually manage to get them going as private servers, but they had to do all that on their own. The key goals here are something that is fundamentally just brilliant and should, happen across all platforms, and of course there's a petition going. I believe they actually already have the amount of signatures that they wanted for the petition, but every little helps. So I'm going to leave a link to Stop Killing Games down below for you guys to check it out. Please do sign it, it's very important. But the main thrust of Stop Killing Games is to lobby for new laws, particularly in the European Union and the UK, that would compel publishers to ensure games remain playable even after official support ends. This could involve mandating offline modes, allowing for private server hosting, or even releasing server code to the community. So actually very basic stuff that should just be there from the very beginning. Again, links will be down below. Please do sign the petition. It's arguably more important than forcing Apple to use Type-C, to be honest with you. Now let's move on to some more Meta leaks, as apparently a new theater environment has leaked. And this one's interesting because it actually looks quite a bit like big screen. So in case you guys use big screen VR, this is going to look like something you've seen before. Meta announced in January it was working on a home theater environment for Horizon OS, which would let Quest users view content on a massive screen in a proper theater setting. Now, a leaked prototype of the environment shows that it's focusing on multiplayer too, making it look a bit like VR's most popular viewing app, Big Screen. Quest already has a few fragmented theater-style features, although no single first-party app that lets you easily invite friends to watch things socially. Meta has made a number of attempts over the years, but so far, nothing has really stuck. 2 months prior to leaving Meta though, Mark Rabkin, then VP of Horizon OS and Quest, announced his team was working on a long-requested cinema environment and experimenting with things such as lighting, effects, and immersive sound. Now, ex-user Luke Got Bored via Luna has reportedly accidentally accessed a work-in-progress theater environment on Quest, suggesting Meta is replicating at least some of the functionality of VR's most popular social viewing app, Big Screen. I don't think they're trying to kill Big Screen here. I mean, it's still different, but the thing is, if they release a first-party app that does this, it's obviously going to become much easier, and arguably that's better. The easier you make something for consumers, for users, that's good, but I just really hope they don't one-is-to-one clone its features, because that would suck. Hopefully they actually make something unique and something of their own. Let me know what you think down below. Another environment that got leaked is the Plaza environment. As Luna says, Luke Got Bored accidentally got access to an internal version of Horizon Worlds that has a new Plaza/Central environment. So yeah, apparently Luke Got Bored has access to quite a few internal features, but that's good because that means we get leaks. So looks very, very detailed, this one actually. I haven't been in Horizon Worlds for a while, so maybe this is just how detailed it's becoming in general, but that looks pretty cool. I can see some portals to the right allowing you to connect to different worlds. Still not as detailed as VR chat, but definitely more detailed than Horizon was in the past. Another power menu bug. Oh my god, I love the power menu bugs. Luna says, I submitted a bug report already, but I hope they look into this sooner rather than later. I often have to power off via the Android boot menu, power and volume down, because the device just restarts if I do it via the OS GUI or holding the power button. Yeah, I actually find this kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm trying to sleep, the headsets are hanging up there, and all of a sudden at night I hear it making some noises. I have been doing the exact same thing, powering it off via the recovery menu, because when I power off via the GUI, it just restarts. I don't know if that's its excuse for updating in the background, but it shouldn't be doing that. When you press power off, it should power off. You're not pressing restart. I'm sure it's just a bug, but I do hope that they actually fix it. And now, onto a fairly big deal once again, as there is quite a bit of controversy around Meta and the way they're tracking their users. Facebook Pixel has been around since I can remember, and it's essentially something a company can introduce onto their website that's going to be running in the background and collecting information about you and allow for better targeted ads. But the controversy happens when Meta and Yandex were secretly linking users' web browse data to their app identities. This was done by exploiting a localhost loophole. Localhost is essentially your device talking to itself. It's a network address, like 127.0.0.1, that developers typically use to test applications locally without needing internet connection. Researchers have found that Meta and Yandex's native Android apps were silently listening on fixed localhost ports in the background. When a user visited a website with Meta Pixel or Yandex Metrica, which are on millions of websites, these scripts in the mobile browser would communicate directly with the Meta/Yandex native apps on the same device via these localhost ports. This direct communication allowed Meta and Yandex to transfer web browse data, including cookies and browser metadata, directly to their native apps. Crucially, these native apps have access to persistent user identifiers, like the Android advertising ID and user login information. By linking the web browse data received via localhost to these app-based user identities, Meta and Yandex could de-anonymize users and track their online behavior across websites and apps, even bypassing common privacy safeguards like clearing browser cookies, using incognito and private browse modes, and Android's app permission system, as the data transfer happened locally. It also violated the assumption that first-party cookies aren't supposed to track activity across different websites. The discovery was made by computer scientists in Spain, the Netherlands, and Belgium. The report published on Tuesday, and they disclosed their findings to affected browser vendors. Immediately following the public disclosure, researchers observed that Meta's Pixel script stopped sending data to localhost, and the relevant tracking data was largely removed. Meta stated they were in discussions with Google to address a potential miscommunication regarding the application of their policies and decided to pause the feature. This suggests Google Play policies prohibit such covert data collection. And I'm not surprised. The researchers suggest a Google proposal for new localhost network access permission on Android that could help similar abuses in the future. I think this is a brilliant idea. This has got me a little bit riled up. So let's just move on to the next piece of news. I wanted to bring this to your guys' attention.
Please tell me what this refers to. I need more context.
Have you been listening to me this entire time? That's very nice. Very nice indeed. Thank you, privacy focused. Wanted to bring this to your guys' attention. It is getting fixed now. Meta knows. They have given us a public response. The public response is good. It's just, you know, in the back of my head, I am wondering, would they have done it if they didn't get caught? Privacy. Privacy is dead. If you think privacy exists in 2025, you're wrong. And I know that's a dangerous assumption, but it's also dangerous to assume that we have privacy. Enough of that. What doesn't suck is the fact that Green Hell VR is getting quite a few updates, with visual upgrades on the Quest 3 and plant cultivation. While we initially missed this arriving last week, Green Hell VR recently introduced new visual updates on the Quest 3 and Quest 3S with the plant cultivation update. This includes improved water shaders and a new water spill effect, higher resolution environments and plants, soft shadows across the jungle, and promised enhancements for point lights. And of course, you can see it in a video going above me in action. Green Hell VR now allows you to craft small and larger planters. 4 different big plants and 6 smaller plants can now be grown by yourself to help boost your survival odds, while other changes include some undisclosed stability and visual adjustments. Full patch notes can be found in the Upload VR article in the link down below. So yeah, some pretty big changes in Green Hell VR. This is actually a title that I like quite a bit. Reminds me of The Forest, which I played quite a lot in virtual reality on PC. So that is going to be it for today's video. Some pretty good news, some pretty unfortunate news. Let me know what you think about all of these topics down below. Love reading your guys' comments. If you like this one, please do leave a like. If you disliked it, I guess this button works too, but let me know why down below. If you're not yet part of our community, check out our Discord and our Reddit down below, where I want to see you posting your spicy memes. And thank you so much to all the Patreons supporting this channel, and thank you to anyone supporting the channel in any way, shape, or form. You guys are amazing. You keep this thing going. And as usual, if you want to be notified about content coming up on the channel, smack that subscribe button with before my bell, and see you again next video. Peace.
Nie wiem, czy u mnie zaczyna to na mnie rosnąć, szczerze.